Hello and welcome. This is Newshour on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. I am Cecilia Alice Tuse. Your top stories this morning. Muslims from all walks of life mark Eid al-Adha, one of the most significant celebrations in Islam. President Julius Maada Bio meets with Muslim worshippers at the Presidential Lodge in Freetown for Eid prayers, using his address to speak on family values, youth discipline, and the need to protect children from the negative effects of social media. And five-story building collapses at Kisi Road in Freetown, leaving many families homeless. These stories and more plus sport and entertainment are lined up in this edition of the news. Stay with us. Thousands of Muslims from different communities converged at the Islamic College along Wilkinson Road in Freetown to observe Eid al-Adha prayers, as religious leaders used the occasion to preach sacrifice, unity, kindness, and support for the less privileged in society. Esther Sako reports.
The atmosphere at the Islamic College on Wilkinson Road was filled with worship, reflection and celebration as Muslims from all walks of life gathered to mark Eid al-Adha, one of the most significant celebrations in Islam. The event attracted several dignitaries, including the Director General of the National Civil Registration Authority, officials from the Iranian Embassy and other prominent personalities who joined worshippers for the special Eid prayers. Sheikh Ali Jallo, a lecturer at the Islamic College, described Eid al-Adha as a period of sacrifice, compassion and service to humanity. He explained that the celebration reminds Muslims of the importance of helping the needy and spreading the love within their communities regardless of religious background.
So the Eid is about sacrifice. It's about helping people who are in need. It's about helping your community. It's about bringing happiness and the lives of others.
According to Sheikh Jallo, Muslims are encouraged during the holy celebration to slaughter animals and share with neighbors, the poor, the vulnerable population in society. He emphasized that the spirit of Eid is not only about celebration, but also bringing happiness into the lives of others. Delivering his message after prayers, Sahid Aman Ahmed Musawi, visiting Imam, Muslim cleric and university professor and lecturer, in his message to worshippers encouraged Muslims to remain peaceful, united and committed to doing good for humanity. Sheikh Jallo, while interpreting the message, described the visiting scholar as a respected Islamic teacher who traveled to different parts of the world to officiate similar religious gatherings and promote Islamic teachings. He also acknowledged the contributions made by partners and Islamic organizations in supporting education and community development through the construction of schools and other humanitarian activities. The prayer ended with special supplications for peace, unity and prosperity for Sierra Leone as worshippers exchanged greetings and shared moments of celebration with family, friends and neighbors. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
President Julius Maada Bio has hosted Muslim worshippers at the Presidential Lodge in Freetown for Eid prayers, using his address to speak on family values, youth discipline, and the need to support children from the negative effects of social media. Has a report from our State House correspondent, Margaret Senge.
President Julius Maada Bio addressed the congregation, linking peace in the country to discipline and responsibility within the homes. President Bio said the root of many social problems lies in the homes. He urged parents to take responsibility for raising their children rather than leaving them solely to teachers.
We enjoy peace, and that peace we for cherish and we for support them. And as how the Imam said, it for start at the home. We see the home controlled, problem not they get. But most of the problems they will get, they start from the home. Because that parent, when they with the pikin, they sleep and grab with them. They say, no, na teacher go train them. Teacher only get few hours with them. Then come back to your house. Then you don't left your responsibility. That's not one of the problems. And we future then young people in hand, we begin in hand. If you want for old fine and you want for enjoy your old age, you for take care of your beginner.
The president called on Sierra Leoneans to continue being religious tolerant and to peacefully coexist, urging Muslims and Christians to avoid divisions created by misunderstandings of scriptures.
Well, just imagine small picking, let's say below the age of 16. If we not tell them waiting, because all things that are social media, all things, you go able to learn them, you go able spoil yourself there, you go able completely go astray, just depending on social media. So now we begin prepare our mind there. Because we get for make that proposition, we will get for control how we begin to use social media. We feature they now they small one they hand. We get for make sure say they come up fine.
He ended with an appeal to young people to uphold respect and avoid the culture of insult, especially towards women and girls. In his sermon, the Imam Sheikh Omar Bangura praised President Bio's government for being transparent in handling this year's Hajj. He also commended the president for joining the Muslim community for prayers in observation of Eid al-Adha.
Today, Muslims, they go Hajj, they go, they know the summer. We're not going to allow the Lungi, we're not going to allow the Abuja. We're not going to allow the UBD. Oh yes! So this is Alhamdulillah for the administration, the Hajj committee, we play for the security, the soldiers and the police, we are all they play a role because we are going to go home for any schools you go people, not to pay them billion for yourself.
Religious leaders in the event welcomed the president's focus on family youth, saying it reflects the shared values of both Christian and Muslim communities in Sierra Leone. For SLBC News, Margaret Sengel reporting.
As a way of celebrating the Eid al-Adha holiday, which is the festival of sacrifice for Muslims, Healthcare for the Aged organization, with support from the Sierra Leone Muslim Association in Australia, has distributed sacrificial meats to vulnerable Muslims in 6 communities across the western area as part of the Eid celebration. Our reporter Christian has more.
If una dey reach we for can give we gifts, we make we survive. Me are grateful to una.
The way to una do so for we, na great thing for we. Because this we not expect her. We can't see her. So I want to tell una thank you.
The exercise saw the slaughtering of 9 cows for needy families, including persons living with disabilities, in communities such as Kisidokiad, Lucky Town, Calvert, Fabe, Moiba, and Devil Hole in the Western Wall area. Chief Executive Officer and founder of Healthcare for the Aged organization, Dr. Mohamed Sambaba, described the donation as a humanitarian intervention aimed at ensuring deprived Muslims also celebrate Eid al-Adha in happiness and dignity.
The main aim is inclusivity, so that at least everybody will feel at home. Everybody, the less privileged, will be able to eat meat at this time because it is a celebration for all Muslims, and we are targeting the hard-to-reach community. It's up to 150 million, although I've never, the money doesn't come through me, but the price of the cow, and we just go, they give us the cow, and we are here to do the donation.
At the polio compound in Kisidokiad, beneficiaries expressed gratitude to donors, noting that the support came at a crucial time when many families are struggling to afford food. Some residents also used the opportunity to appeal for support in addressing challenges they face in their community. Similar sentiments were expressed by residents of Looking Town community who thanked the Sierra Leone Muslim Association in Australia and Healthcare for the Aged organization for what they described as a meaningful Eid gesture. They said the sacrificial meat will help sustain several families during the celebration.
We are gratified and we are overwhelmed by this particular act of sacrifice and celebrating this particular Eid.
Community stakeholders at Calvert, Frabe, Moiba and Devulol equally commended both organizations for remembering vulnerable Muslims during one of the most important periods in the Islamic calendar. The Eid al-Adha celebration is observed by Muslims worldwide as a symbol of sacrifice, compassion, and support for the less privileged in society. SLBC News in Freetown, Christian Akaba reporting.
Now, Fuabe College Muslim Jamaat has organized its maiden student conference on the theme Navigating University Life Challenges, Faith and Growth Beyond Campus. The conference was an opportunity for students to interface with experienced personalities, including the Deputy Vice Chancellor, on the importance of upholding faith and academic excellence. Mohammed Koma tells us more.
The maiden student conference organized by Frabe College Muslim Jamaat brought together eminent young leaders, Islamic scholars, educationists, and senior officials of the university, including the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Andrew Bayo. The conference was a platform for experienced personalities to motivate students on how to navigate university life, challenges, faith, and growth beyond campus. A renowned Islamic scholar, Dr. Ibrahim Saliu Kamara, encouraged students to strike the balance between faith and academia. He said that Islam is not about accumulating papers, but it is about solving societal problems.
You need spiritual guidance. We have seen knowledge failing us. I have seen PhDs speaking like children, behaving like children. They became a disgrace. You need law, but it's a law without God. So you make law for sale. You sell law. What did Quran say about people who perpetrate injustice? What did Quran say? Those people who don't judge according to Allah's command.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Andrew Bayo, lauded FBC Muslim Jamaat for the engagement, stating that Sierra Leone continues to enjoy religious tolerance.
I know exactly what it means to be a Muslim, and you always have my support because I'm living the practice, even though I am a Christian. But I mean, my wife and my community where I grew, you have Muslims and Christians living in harmony, and that is one of the most important traits of our country.
Senior lecturer of Frabe College, Dr. Fatou Taki, encouraged the students to uphold their Islamic identity, emphasizing the need for students to read, learn, and understand their religion.
Things that you hold very dear to yourselves is you ask yourself the question, what impact am I making? What impact am I making on yourself? What impact am I making on other people? What impact am I making to society? What is my legacy? So I come through the doors of Frabe College and pull me model account. I am here 4 years or 5 years. When I'm done, what am I doing with what I've learned?
The conference also featured panel discussions where students could learn from the inspiring stories of academics who struck the balance between faith and academia. For SLBC, Mohamed Koma reporting.
Away from that, a 5-story building collapsed at Kisi Road in Freetown. It left many families homeless and heartbroken after the structure came down around 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Residents say they were asleep while a loud crashing sound suddenly woke them up. Esther Susanette Bassi visited the area and I report.
Rescue workers and community members were at the scene at Kisi Road in the eastern part of the capital, Freetown, with heavy equipment, clearing blocks and wooden sticks, alongside desperate families searching for loved ones and survivors.
This is where 17-year-old Ramatulai Kamara and 21-year-old Abdul Mansare were removed from the fallen 5-story building which collapsed at around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning as of Tuesday, 26th May 2026.
Right now, I feel pain, so I'm not going to get treatment, yes, but I say we'll go for get treatment later. Probably, someone it's in the hard, difficult, but we will struggle there, we could go pull there.
21-year-old Abdul Mansare were among those rescued alive, while several injured victims were rushed to the hospital for treatment. For affected families, the loss is heartbreaking. One mother whose children survived the collapse said everything they owned was destroyed.
Around 1 o'clock, anything collapsed.
Everything got damaged, including my children, who were severely injured. Now, we are calling for justice and help from the actual owners of the collapsed building.
So all thing well, all thing damage. But I mean, what they talk to you, so we not get nothing to nothing.
Residents say they had earlier noticed cracks in the building and feared danger long before the collapse. Many are now calling for stronger enforcement of construction standards to prevent similar disasters.
Yes, before the house fell down, we've made some reports to the police, Rescue Division. We've took some reports also to National Disaster Management. No, even the contractor, the owner of the building, because he's not presently in town. I heard that he's residing at the United States. We've tried to reach him, but unfortunately, we are not able.
National Disaster Management Agency emergency response teams quickly secured the area, disconnected electricity supply, and brought in engineers to assess nearby buildings, some of which may also be demolished for safety reasons.
This is as a result of poor materials that was used by the contractor to be able to put up a 5-story building. Structurally and practically and by principle, one of the required efforts, standard measure is that for every flat to come up, after when you have done your concrete, you have to wait for a period of 21 days. After the 21 days, the materials get dried, they are hardened enough before you can go to the next stage. Some of these things that have been done, people may not know the implications of what they are doing. You put up a building, you do not observe the 21 days to make sure it becomes concrete, becomes hardened, and you put another on top of it, it's because you lack knowledge. So for us, the first part of it is making sure that we're able to train people, we're able to educate people, we're able to engage the media. You guys have equal responsibility towards that. Anytime we engage you, we are talking to the public about these kinds of challenges.
Other government officials say use of substandard construction materials and failure to follow proper engineering procedures as key factors behind such incidents. Investigations into the exact cause of the collapse are ongoing as affected families continue to seek justice, shelter, and support.
We are hoping to see the swift intervention from authorities concerned, as there are several houses that are affected from such situation. Well, this is a very serious occurrence that happened around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. Although there were no casualties, but lives were injured. Victims, community people are calling on authorities to take active measures to prevent such occurrence. Well, for SLBC, Esther Suzanet Bassi reporting from Kisi Road, Green State.
Now, the race for the presidency of the Sierra Leone Bar Association is gradually taking shape, with 2 female lawyers now publicly declaring their ambitions ahead of the association's next elections. Incumbent President Tuma Adama Jabi is seeking re-election, while legal practitioner Martina Bendo Igbenda is making her first bid for the top position. Their declarations come at a time when the legal profession in Sierra Leone continues to face internal divisions, questions over governance, and growing calls for reforms within the justice sector. Here's the report. The presidency of the Sierra Leone Bar Association is once again in focus, but this time with a significant gender dimension. For the first time in recent years, 2 women are openly competing for leadership of one of the country's most influential professional bodies. Current bar president Tuma Adamajabi has launched her re-election message under the slogan "Raising the Bar, Securing the Gains," highlighting what she describes as achievement during her tenure. Her campaign materials point to initiatives including the launch of a private pension scheme for lawyers through NASIT, efforts to secure land for a permanent bar secretariat, international scholarship opportunities, and strengthening partnerships within and out of Sierra Leone's judiciary. Tuma Jabi says continuity is needed to consolidate the gains already made by her administration. Meanwhile, newcomer Martina Bendu Igbenda is presenting herself as a reform candidate, campaigning on the message, "Together we can build a united bar." Her vision focuses on unity, professionalism, empowerment, and respect within the legal profession. In her declaration, Martina Igbenda calls for what she terms a united, respected, and progressive bar, promising to promote fairness, ethical standards, and support for young and female lawyers. The emergence of 2 female contenders for the bar's top office is already shaping a different conversation within the legal community. Beyond the politics of the election itself, the contest is also drawing attention to the growing visibility of women in leadership within Sierra Leone's justice sector, particularly at a time when the profession is grappling with questions of reform, unity, and institutional credibility. While both candidates are presenting different visions for the future of the Bar Association, their candidacies also reflect a broader shift in female representation in spaces traditionally dominated by men. As campaigning gradually gains momentum, members of the Bar Association are expected to closely examine not only the candidates' promises, but also their ability to restore confidence, professionalism, and cohesion within the country's legal community. Interviews with the aspirants are expected in the coming days as the race for the Sierra Leone Bar Association presidency gains momentum. SLBC News, Cecilia Alice Cisse. You're still watching Newshour on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. The rest of the news continues. First Lady Fatima Madabiu has delivered a public lecture on the theme Ending Child Marriage and Promoting Girls' Education in Sierra Leone at the Farabe College campus. During the lecture, Madam Fatima Bio emphasized that child marriage is not a culture, tradition, or destiny, but injustice to the victim. Yusuf Mosier Suma was there and sent in this report.
With such an excitement, this was how the First Lady, Fatima Madabio, was welcomed on campus. The public lecture was organized by the Sierra Leone People's Party Students FBC chapter, with the theme Ending Child Marriage and Promoting Girls' Education in Sierra Leone. The president of the SLPP FBC chapter, Vandi Mali Sharif, commended the First Lady for her efforts in fight against child marriage, called for a mentorship platform for young female students, and also to enhance leadership skills and jobs for student economic independence.
Your Excellency, in anticipation of better Sierra Leone through young people, we submit you for due consideration and establishment of a mentorship platform linking young female students with women leadership to enhance leadership skills on campus at Farabe College.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Andrew Bayo, described the First Lady as a passionate leader who transforms advocacy into action.
Through the landmark Hands Off Our Girls campaign, His Excellency has led an unrelenting war against child marriage, rape, domestic violence, and the silent suffering of girls across our nation.
Whilst delivering her lectures to students, educators, and community leaders present, the First Lady described child marriage as an injustice and not a culture, tradition, or destiny for girls. She also said girls should not be a burden or transaction in a family.
Across Africa, millions of girls are still being told, your dream do not matter. Your education can wait. Your future belongs to someone else. And we must say clearly and courageously, no, our future belongs to us. A girl is not a burden. A girl is not a transaction. A girl is not a problem to be solved through marriage. A girl is a potential. Child marriage steals that potential. It steals childhood, it steals their education, and it steals their health.
The First Lady said girls' education is a sword against child marriage and that investing in girls is not a charity.
Education is protection. Education is dignity. Education is freedom. So investing in girls is not charity. It is smart national development.
The First Lady added that if Africa wants peace, its leaders must protect girls and improve on their education for a safer learning environment. The First Lady urged young people and duty bearers to take advantage of the role in advocating within their own communities and call on institutions to enforce existing laws against child marriage without exception. Swadu Kaba, a Year 2 student pursuing History and African Studies at FBC, described the lecture as a learning platform. She called on fellow girls not to allow themselves into early marriage, and lawmakers should join the First Lady in her fight against child marriage.
Child should not be forced to marriage if they are not willing, because marriage is willingness. So the First Lady is trying to put an end to that.
Yusuf Mosire Suma, SLBC News, Freetown.
The Public Investment Technical Committee has met for the first time since it was established in 2024. One among many of its functions is to review and appraise government projects and programs for selection and budgeting. Joseph Toure witnessed the event at Country Lodge Hotel in Freetown.
In here are members of the Public Investment Technical Committee drawn from various ministries, departments and agencies, supervised by the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development and the Ministry of Finance. It has a huge task in shaping and aligning government's programs with the available resources. This inaugural meeting held in Freetown focused on key areas not limited to review and appraise projects and programs for selection and budgeting, review the stock of existing public investment programs to effectively streamline the portfolio.
On the rationalization of the PIP itself, with all the numerous projects that are there, we want to see which ones we can retain, which ones we can exit, which ones we can extend, downgrade, or defer.
The Financial Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Matthew Dingy, said there was a need for the committee to bring ongoing projects to financial close, and such strategy should be made clear. He urged the body to have an objective based on practical evidence to show that public investment programs are financially viable.
All of these committees to see how to identify these projects, what's the scope of these projects, and what's the cost of investing in this project, but most importantly, how this committee can recommend to government what financing options are there for government to utilize in the implementation of this project.
The Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Kenny Bali, said it was essential to reset the public investment programs framework to restore budget credibility and sustainability. She said the reason her ministry would work with other MDAs and the development partners to align public investment with the government flagship priorities while continuously reforming the system to optimize financing.
The ministry views this committee as the engine that will ensure
efficiency, transparency and accountability in all of our public investments.
The technical sessions were very interactive, with experts moving back and forth even over the definition of what a project is as per the public investment programs. Committee was expected to present its work to the Ministerial Committee for review or approval before government's programs are implemented. SLBC, Joseph Toure reporting.
The humanitarian aid organization Sierra Leone, with support from International Humanitarian Help Netherlands, has donated clothing and other children's items to orphans in Makeni and Waterloo. The initiative was intended to improve the welfare of vulnerable children while ensuring that they feel included and supported during festive celebrations. Abdul Mansai has more in this report.
The donation benefited over 100 orphan children. The items donated included children's clothing, shoes, and other essential materials designed to meet some of the immediate needs of the beneficiaries. The International Humanitarian Help Netherlands, with the Humanitarian Aid Organization HAO Sierra Leone said the gesture formed part of their ongoing efforts to provide care, support, and hope to less privileged children across Sierra Leone. The support comes at a time when many families and orphan children were preparing for the upcoming Eid al-Adha celebrations. The support put smiles on their faces after receiving new clothes ahead of the religious celebration. The CEO of the Humanitarian Aid Organization HAO Sierra Leone, Gassi Moja, expressed satisfaction with the initiative and reaffirmed the organization's commitment to supporting those in need. The donation exercise was a show that humanitarian organization could promote social welfare, including the well-being of children in need across Sierra Leone. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
The African Diplomatic Mission in Sierra Leone, in partnership with the government of Sierra Leone, have celebrated the First Africa Day 2026 under the theme Together as One Africa. The celebration, attended by ambassadors, members of the diplomatic corps, and representatives from various ministries, departments, and agencies, focused on reflecting on Africa's past achievements and shaping the future of the continent. Aminata Fofana reports.
High Commissioner of the Gambia and representative of the African Ambassadors Group, Ambassador Claudia Cole, described the occasion as significant for both Sierra Leone and the African continent. She stressed the need for safe water and sanitation systems in achieving the African Union's Agenda 2063. She noted that diplomats must move beyond words to action in addressing challenges affecting the continent, particularly access to clean water, which she described as a matter of human dignity and a basic necessity of life. According to her, Agenda 2063 envisions an Africa free from deprivation, where citizens have access to essential amenities.
I wish to pay special
tribute to our host nation, the Republic of Sierra Leone, a country that embodies the spirit of Africa. Sierra Leone has demonstrated courage in the face of adversity, and today stands as a proud example of resilience, democratic governance, and the warm hospitality that defines the African spirit. We are grateful for the friendship and solidarity extended to all African nations represented here. And I want to say thank you.
The Gambian High Commissioner reaffirmed the commitment of Africa diplomatic missions and partners to prioritize sustainable water systems and strengthen collective action toward development goals. She added that Africa, with its population of over 1.4 billion people, remains blessed with rich cultural diversity and abundant natural resources despite challenges posed by climate change. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Timothy Kaba said the commemoration of Africa Day established on May 25, 1963, serves not only as a moment of reflection, but also an opportunity to renew commitment to African solutions to African problems. The minister said Agenda 2063 represents Africa's determination to transform the continent into a globally competitive and inclusive society where resources are managed responsibly. He said Sierra Leone's commitment to the principles of the African Union and the goals of Agenda 2063, emphasizing that access to water is fundamental to human dignity, public health, economic productivity, and social development. The minister noted that the theme Together as One Africa speaks to the importance of unity and cooperation in addressing challenges confronting the continent. He said Africa's strength lies in its youthful population, innovation, and cultural diversity, which are critical in building resilient societies. The minister concluded by renewing Sierra Leone's commitment to African solidarity and assured the diplomatic community of the fullest support of President Julius Maada Bio in advancing the continent's development aspirations. Ambassador of Egypt recalled the experience in making the event a success. She expressed appreciation to the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the collective contribution to making the first celebration a success. She said the launch of the African Ambassador Group and the anniversary of Africa Day.
Our continent is rich in natural resources, youthful energy, innovation, and cultural diversity. What is now required is the collective resolve to harness these strengths to build resilient societies and create opportunities for all Africans. On this Africa Day, let us therefore renew our commitment as Africans to our African solidarity, sustainable development, peace, and regional cooperation. Let us continue to work together to ensure that no African is left behind in our collective journey towards prosperity and dignity.
The ambassador of Egypt recalled the collective efforts made to ensure the success of the events and expressed appreciation to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation for its support and contribution toward making the first Africa Day 2026 celebration a success. She noted that the launch of the African Ambassadors Group alongside the commemoration of Africa Day marked a significant milestone and expressed optimism that future celebrations would become even more successful.
Well, it's now time for our entertainment news.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Sulaiman Babature. In this edition of Entertainment News, Sierra Leonean female artist Vida calls for help over rape allegation. Magical Podium, a team of artists from Frabe College, perform at the First Lady's public lecture on early marriage. And Harmony accuses Incredible JJ over song theft. And now, legendary Sierra Leonean female artist Davida Green, popularly known as Vida, has accused her ex-lover of rape and sexual harassment. The news came out after the singer posted the sad news on her Facebook page as a way of letting out the silent pain she has been living with. In her write-up, she said, "This burden has shattered her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, as she chose to keep it silent because the undisclosed accused person is someone she loved and trusted." The singer said even after begging and complaining about her recovering from an illness and surgery, the accused went on to sexually assault and rape her multiple times. The singer also claims that her accused ex tore her clothes, rippled her underwear, bruised and bite her while forcing himself on her. Since the news broke out, entertainers, fans, bloggers, media personalities are talking about it and calling for justice. And now, as part of its aim as an institution, Frabe College nurtures leaders who are believed to take over leadership and development in Sierra Leone, in shaping their leadership and professional skills in different professions. The school also strives to unearth the students' social potential in different fields, from music, sport, drama, and more. This was seen during the First Lady's public lecture at Frabe College, as a team of young stars students at the Frabe College took over the podium to entertain Her Excellency and the audience. The team performed a song speaking to the event titled "Hands Off Our Girls," and also a song dedicated to Frabe College, the Afro Fusion, titled "We FDC." Let's see how it went.
So, here we left. Here we left. Hands off. Here we left. Small teaching SOF. Hands off. Here we left. Here we left. Hands off. Here we left. Small teaching SOF.
It was indeed classic, a great performance by the magical podium. And now, finally, on this edition of Entertainment News, Sierra Leonean singer Harmony has announced his exit from the Kulala team after accusing rising star Incredible JJ of claiming a song that they both worked on years ago. Speaking on Slick TV and through a post on his Facebook page, the singer said Incredible JJ included the song in his recently released EP, The Mat, with no credit. In the post, also, the upcoming star thanked all those who supported him and disclosed closing his chapter as a Kulala Troop Lion. He also claimed it was a heavy decision and thanked the team for all they've done for him. Well, though, he said that, but people are still in doubt, because this has been the game recently, wherein artists, superstars are claiming things to create the stunt on social media or promote their songs. Well, if it's true, it's sad, really, but if it's not, well, this is all we have for this edition of Entertainment News. I've been your presenter, Slaman Babatue. Thanks for watching, and keep watching the SOBC. Bye-bye.
Many thanks to our entertainment desk for that updates. From there, let's find out the latest in sports. Well, that's how we come to an end of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Quickly before we close, let's take a recap of our top stories. President Julius Maada Bio has met with Muslim worshippers at the Presidential Lodge in Freetown for Eid prayers, using his address to speak on family values, youth discipline, and the need to protect children from the negative effect of social media. Muslims from all walks of life have marked Eid al-Adha, one of the most significant celebrations in Islam. And the collapse of a 5-story building at Kisirod in Freetown has left many families homeless and heartbroken. Residents say they were asleep when a loud crashing sound suddenly woke them up as the structure came down around 1 a.m. on Tuesday. And that's how we wrap up this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Thanks for watching, and do continue to stay tuned to your public broadcaster, the SLBC. Coming up next is Good Morning Sierra Leone. I am Cecilia Ali Sise. Goodbye.